So today we're going to do a hybrid set. If you like seeing free tutorials on lashes, please subscribe and give us a like and a follow on Instagram as well. So I get my clients to arrive with clean lashes, and then I give them a lash bath and I prime their lashes, pop on some pads, and then I fan the lashes and brush them out so that they're ready to lash. So the video, I just kind of cut that out because it was getting too long. But you can see me here doing putting the singles through. So hybrid is a blend of obviously classic lashes, which is one lash on one lash, and a volume on the other lashes. And as an artist, you can choose to do whatever you like. So I decided to do 3 rows each eye of about 10 or 11 lashes each of 9s and 10s in flats. So I used 0.2 9s and 10s and C curl, and even though they weren't longer than her natural lashes, it kind of just gives that thickening effect, which I really like in hybrids. So I placed 10 on one eye, and then I would go and do 10 on the other eye, and then I come back and I do 3 sets, basically three of these, so that there's about 33 lashes, single lashes on each eye. And then I go through and I fill the rest with a volume for this set. Now, obviously you can choose longer singles. I just really like the 0.2 flats. I use matte black, and it just gives a really nice thick look to a hybrid. And they don't twist and turn as much, and I find them just easier to apply as well, much faster. So excuse my dirty tweezers. They are very much loved tweezers that I always use, and the glue is hard to come off white tweezers. I really should pick a different colored tweezers. But the volume lashes I'm using now, that was a very quick show, but they're lengths 8, 9, 10, and 11, and I actually did also add 12 in the end. So they are 0.05 C curl volume lashes. And as you can see, I tend to wear a glue ring, and I put a bit of tape on the glue ring that I switch out every 15 minutes, and I just put a drop of glue, 1 drop, and that kind of just keeps, it's clean, but I also like to not use too much plastic. I'm constantly thinking about the turtles in the ocean, I guess, but that just means I go through tape a lot more. So using a little fan, you can kind of check if there are any wonky lashes, being careful to always get the lashes to face straight or in the same direction. The tweezer that I use to place my fan is quite short, and I like these tweezers because I can place with the tip facing up, but then I can quickly flip it to face downwards if I need to stop any stickies, remove a baby lash, or just basically use it. I just find it easier. And these tweezers are much lighter as well. So here I am going through with little narrow fans. I am so sorry that it isn't closer. I'm trying to learn how to make better lash tutorials, and this is my first proper video, but I will be getting a macro lens and hopefully getting that nice and up close angle so that you can actually see what I'm doing. But basically these are 8mm narrow fans, and so you see how I use my tweezers to go through and prevent stickies, and also to make sure the fans are facing the right way, because fans, you want them to face, it's a lot more obvious if a fan is facing the wrong way because there's so many strands. And I'm doing 3 to 6 strands per narrow fan. So you can go ahead and tape up her lids. You can see I was using my pinky there to hold her lids up. When lashes face upwards, they're much easier to lash. I didn't tape her because I tend to avoid using tape wherever possible. Not a lot of clients like it, but it does make your lashes easier to lash for sure. And the older the client, the more likely I am to tape, because if they have hooded eyes or the skin around the eyes are not so tight, it definitely helps your job be easier. So yeah, I do use my tweezers to kind of brush the fans upwards a little bit, as you can see just there. Oh, and fun fact, I actually did this lady's lip blush a couple of years ago, so that's what a healed lip blush looks like. It was a really pretty reddish color. So isolation is super important. I do spend a bit of time getting that isolation sometimes, and that's okay. It is, for fans anyways, it's really important that you're able to wrap around the lash, and it's really hard to show obviously in this video because we're a bit far away, but I do have another tutorial that is on the page and on the site, and I will actually post it up so that you can actually see how I did a narrow fan on a mannequin. And I'll learn how to link all these together because, as I said, it's still kind of new to me. So it's me making fans off camera is probably not very helpful, but they're narrow fans, so they're actually easier to make than wide fans, and narrow fans give that nice thick darker look that wide fans give a fluffier look. So I really like narrow fans, and I've also been using narrow fans even for sometimes for classics. Just a very narrow 0.03 fan is really nice. So I would have gone through and filled out the lashes with more volume fans. So the singles are already all in place. I like to do my singles first so I know the shape of my design. And you can see here that you can see quite clearly how I tape my ring, those little plastic glue rings. I stick a little bit of tape on top, and that tape that has the cross hatch, that tape is perfect because I have those ready to go when clients come. I just kind of tear out 4 or 6 little squares, and then I have them sitting there ready to go when I need to refresh my glue dot every 15 minutes. And the glue never runs. So the glue I use is my brand of glue, but I have used Aquila in the past by Lash Joy, which I really love as well. I actually find I do love this glue even more, but I loved Aquila for years and years and years, and that also didn't run on my glue ring the way I do it. So you can see her lashes are almost done. I'm just going through and finding little gaps. If there's a real small little lash, I might do a little 9mm small fan with maybe 3 or 4 strands on them. And then I go through at the ends because I was feeling like a little length would be nice. So I added 12s in a slightly wider fan, still 0.05. And I did put some 12 singles at the end as well, some 12 flat, 0.2 flat lashes. And I like matte black lashes. If you guys are interested in knowing what I've used, please comment down below, and also let me know if you want videos that are a bit closer, that have a bit more technical information. So yeah, don't be afraid to ask your client, well, she's asleep, but to turn her head to the side so you can get a good angle for your hands and your wrists. So this video is a bit close, but I tend to move my chair as well, so I'm facing the client more towards how the lashes are facing. So I would sit directly behind it. So I'll have to do another video on that, but that helps me get to the corners really easily, and also to the inner corners, which can be really tricky. So I tend to always do kitten eye, which is the fronts would be 8, 9, 10. So a few 8s, a few 9s, and then mostly 10s and 11s, and then a little bit of 12s at the end, and then back down to a 10. And the reason I don't keep them at 12s at the end is because most people sleep on their side. They will pop off first, and also 12s to the very, very end, or the longest strand to the very end, I don't feel like looks the best. And lashes that are naturally at the ends, they tend to be a bit shorter anyway, so if I put a shorter one, it lasts longer and it just looks better, in my opinion. So yeah, you can see that's how I put my glue dot. And you don't need a lot of glue. I love volume, especially with narrow fans. Well, with volume and with flat lashes, you don't need a lot of glue. With the glue that I use, you just need a dot. So you need to see that dot when you've dipped in your lash. And then if that dot is still there when you've placed your lash, I use my tweezers. You'll see that I flip it around quite quickly, and I kind of just brush that dot so that it doesn't stay it just doesn't stay as a dot. It's more seamless and you can't see it. It wouldn't bother your client if it's there, but for me it does bother me if I see that up close. I mean, your clients would probably not even notice. And I have removed lashes from other places where there were quite a few dots at the bottom of the lash. So here I am going in with 12s, flat lashes. So I actually put probably a few more flat lashes, 12s at the ends than I did probably the same amount of 8s and 9s up front of volume lashes. Sorry. So yeah, that's another flat. If you're on your phone, I believe you can zoom into the video. I'm so sorry that it's not zoomed in. And yeah, if you'd like to see more zoomed in videos or ones with music background, please comment below so that I know what to post. So with flat lashes, I tend to swipe into the glue so I don't get that ball of glue at the end. With the fan, I dip into the glue. I might do a video if you want to see that, again, post below, because if you want to see how much glue you should be using, again, every brand is different, so but I can say that I've used Aquila Lash Joy, and I've used Sky back in my beginner days, and I love the clear glue with Sky. But yeah, that was the same technique, the same amount of glue that I found for the glue that I'm currently using, and it worked really well. So I'm just finishing off by going through and checking if there are any singular lashes. Using your dental mirror, also just have a look. I like to look at the first half of the lash, and then I go look at the other eye at the first half of the lash, and then I'll take my dental mirror and look at the last half of the lash and do the same on the other eye, so that I know that they look as even as can be. But generally, if you go back and forth with the same lashes, you're going to get an even result. So this set took me about 2 hours, just over 2 hours. Normally it probably would have taken me maybe 15 minutes less, but I was fiddling with the camera, and yeah, that was a little bit involved. But isolation is the most important thing, so don't rush. And making fans, it takes a while if it's handmade fans, but narrow fans are much quicker than wide fans, I found. And honestly, not a single client that I've had in the 10 years that I've been lashing has ever come in and said, I need wide fans or I need narrow fans. So the narrow fans give a bit of a denser look. It's a bit quicker to make narrow fans, so I kind of just, that's been my favorite go-to. Then I'll probably dry their lashes a little bit. This is my little dryer, and just give it a little blast before I brush so that I don't get stickies. I rarely get stickies. That's how much I love this glue. And I guess also with the way I lash, yeah, stickies is not really something that happens. I don't use a ton of glue. Now, if you isolate your lash and you've placed it, you dip your, so you find your lash, you dip it in glue, and then you pop it on the natural lash like I've done here, and you just leave that to dry. So you have your isolation tweezers and you leave that to dry. You can then use your right hand and go and pick up the next lash. So it makes you lash faster. So give that a try as well when you're practicing. And so you can see we're coming to the end of the lashes, and she's had a nice 2-hour sleep. I don't wash them after I know some people do that and give a bath again, but I've not found that this glue has any residue or anything like that. So I tend to nano mist, give it a quick spray, and then I will dry it, and then I check for stickies. So I always check for stickies before I get them to open their eyes. And see, these just come off so easily without tape. I just love it. And I give their brows a little brush before I get them to open their eyes. Obviously brush out the lashes, make sure that none are coming off. And yeah, if you like this video and you want to see more, please subscribe and follow me on Instagram.